Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Philip Johnson. I'm the patient coordinator here at Sponaugle Wellness. Me and my team, maybe some of the folks that you talk to when you call in to ask questions about treatment protocol, timelines, what do we do for Lyme disease. And we have a very special guest with us today. And can you tell us your first name?
My name is Cindy.
Cindy, where are you from?
I am from northeastern Pennsylvania.
Northeastern. Now, why did you say it that way? Is that different than South Pennsylvania?
It is. It's very, I live in the Poconos. So
The Poconos.
Yes. So
okay,
yes.
It's very different then.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. This is your exit day.
It is. I'm so excited.
We haven't done any videos on you, and you just came in to say goodbye, and I said, well, let's just catch up for just a minute. So before we talk about where you're at now, because you look great now, you might not be able to convince anybody you're sick or we're sick.
Nope.
So let's go back in time. Before you came here, were you sick for a year, for 5 years?
I've been sick for 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah, we believe that I was infected with Lyme when I was 12.
Okay.
Because I live in the Poconos, we never really paid much mind to tick bites.
Tick bites.
So I was running track when I was in junior high, and I hurt my knee, and the doctors could never figure out what was wrong.
Okay.
Looking back, that was probably the start of my infection. When I was 16, I was in an ATV accident, which impaired my immune system, as I've learned here, and that is when my symptoms with the Lyme really started. I saw probably 30 different doctors from the time I was 16 till now at 37. I've had multiple abdominal surgeries. I was finally diagnosed with Lyme disease about 3 years ago. I did 15 months of IV and oral antibiotics. I did 8 months of an herbal Lyme treatment. And then I came here, and I am better.
Your chief complaints when you came to us, if you were to try to top 5, top 10 chief complaints.
Because I'm a teacher, my #1 complaint was my brain fog and my inability to put my thoughts together. It's really hard to stand in front of 8th graders and not be able to talk. So my brain fog, and then my pain and fatigue would be the next. I started with some neuropathy things, I started with some tingling, and I always had just very strange things wrong. I had a ½ pound tumor removed from the nape of my neck in January, and just things that doctors at home always said, there's something, something's going on. Weird here. So, and here I am.
Well, that fatigue, the knee, all these, these are so typical symptoms of Lyme. And then have it complicated with some of the other things. I called my wife just a minute ago. It's Friday night, and I said, what do you want to do tonight? For 3 years, I would have never been able to do that. I would have never had the energy. The thought of leaving home was more than I could have stood.
I'm anxious about going home because I want to do things now. And I said to Eric, I don't know if I'm going to know how to live my life, not working and going home. That's all I did for years and years, was if I could make it to work, I went to work, and then I went home. And that was it. And and I also had really bad headaches, so that really played a big part in it too.
You've treated with us for how long?
This is my 8th week.
Okay, and we discovered, what did we discover about you, our proprietary testing? Do you remember, what kind of situations? Did you have Lyme?
Yes, I had Lyme, and when I came in, I had, my mold tests were all negative, but as I started to kill, that mold immediately came out.
So let's stop just for a minute and explain that for people that are watching this. I wasn't there, but the doctors or the nurses probably explained that those mold microtoxins were wrapped up in the biofilm that the Lyme creates, that nasty web that they build. So if you do a mold test, even a Lyme test, certain Lyme tests are going to show false negative that you don't have Lyme because it's wrapped up in that biofilm. Your body's perhaps not making the antibodies necessary to deal with this, so it doesn't even show that you have Lyme disease. We bust the biofilm and everything is wrapped up in it.
comes pouring on out.
Pouring out.
Yes,
like
it
mold.
does.
And so we found out you had the mold, you had these bugs.
I had a lot of biofilm.
A lot of biofilm.
Yeah, I had a large, huge amount of biofilm. So
And
there
that
was
would
a lot
be-
of stuff wrapped up in there.
If you got bit when you were 12, that's a long time to,
Yeah.
that to happen. They just keep working away.
Yes, they do.
And research proves that Lyme can become neurological in as little as 12 hours.
Right.
And this is why so much brain fog, goes on. So real quickly, and 8 weeks here. You probably didn't feel like dancing every day.
No, I definitely didn't. Not every day. Not until actually, probably I'd say the last 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. There were some days where I just cried and wanted to go home. It's not a pleasant experience, but knowing that I felt that bad because it was working, it was worth it.
That's what we try to tell people.
Yeah, it's okay to feel bad. I actually wanted to feel as bad as I possibly could, even if I couldn't do anything, because I'm here to heal, and I did.
Let's talk about now that you're leaving. This is what everybody wants to know. We talked about the past. We talked about your chief complaints. You briefly touched on it about excited to go back home. So are you 50%? Are you 60% better? 80%? Where do you think you're at?
I'd say I'm about 75% better than when I came.
75% better.
I still feel like I have work I need to do, but I also just had my exit interview, and I know what supplements to take. We bought an infrared sauna, so I plan on using that and doing all I can to continue to detox, because I found that's very important.
The detox. You
Yeah.
genetically
Can't
probably
do it.
Can't do it.
Nope.
Does your body make the antibodies for Lyme?
No.
Okay, so you're in trouble.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm teasing. So if you came in here with mold, you have to ask the question, where did it come from? Where am I getting it? Is it home? Is it work? Is it
Right.
school? And we tell all of our patients, if the mold genetics, have kind of dealt you a bad hand.
Yes, they have.
I think the government numbers, don't quote me on this, but I've heard 50% of every home or structure in America is probably a toxic home,
Yes.
possibly
Believe
mold.
that.
And so we tell all of our patients, it's a big deal. We get all that mold out of you. We'll prove it with numbers, and we get all of that out of you.
Mine's gone.
Yours is gone.
It's gone.
And even the fried test, it shows some of these bugs. We can prove these things are going away. We're showing that we're getting rid of the bugs. And the gut issues that 99% of our patients have, we prove that that's going away. And the brain chemistry, we're going to prove that through our natural supplements and our V-drips that we're getting brain chemistry back the way it needed to be.
Oh, yeah.
And that brings upper management to everything. And if it's not working, it's not telling the switches to go on. Your body's not healing itself. But when you go home, you have to find out, where did I get that mold at? Because I don't want to live in that environment.
Well, the mold tester is coming in a few days, so I will know. And I am working right now with my school district to try to get some mold testing done, because I'm pretty sure it's there. And
a lot of our schools, well, it doesn't have to be an old building, but they're older buildings. And because of the summer months, they shut the AC down. It creates a great environment to grow mold. And if there's water leaks, mold only needs dust, which there's plenty of that around, and moisture, which can even be picked up through, the humidity, in the air. But if you got water leaks, pipes that are broken, it's certainly an environment to grow mold. And it has been such a wonderful pleasure to have you, meet your husband. I wish we could have spent more time talking. You probably got some great stories.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about that ATV accident.
Someday. I'll call you someday and tell you.
But I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk again,
Yes.
and hope that we're going to be friends forever. But do you have any closing comments here before we
One of the
say
things
goodbye?
that I am most excited about is that I came down here on a lot of different medications to help to manage my symptoms. I'm on one of them now. I was on 6 when I came down, and I'm off of all of them. I am that to me is worth all of this. But
I love that.
yeah, it's fantastic. And I really was skeptical when I came, and I talked to you a lot on the phone, and I was skeptical even my first couple of weeks in, because nothing has ever worked. Nothing has worked. I hit the end of the road. I mean, there were some pretty dark times in my life in the past couple of years, and I don't think they're going to be there anymore.
I don't think
you know?
so either.
And I have emotion, and I can feel it bubbling up now, but I was on so many medications, and my system was so toxic that I didn't feel emotion for many years, and I felt very disconnected from the world and from God, and I don't anymore. And I cry at silly Hallmark commercials now.
I'm going to cry with you now.
And it's awesome. It's just awesome.